I'm Mike.
And I'm Adam.
And this is Stuff and Waffle. Two friends talking about stuff, and often as not, waffling with frequent reference to Bond cars.
And so begins another podcast. And with that comes the obligatory now, 2 truths, 1 lie.
Oh, we've got a name for it. Very good.
Yeah, do you know what? That came out of what can only be described as corporate team building a little while back.
No.
Don't worry, I hit them with some really good ones, factually correct but socially awkward.
We are nothing if not factually correct but socially awkward. Let's be honest.
But everything I put down was appropriate for the workplace. It just made people uncomfortable because I was quite open, without being rude, might I add.
You don't tend to hold back, do you? Let's be honest. You're not sort of chap. No,
but I wasn't vulgar.
No. There's a place and time for vulgar, but that isn't it. Yes, I know. You accept that. I know.
Yeah, that's true. Although, no, I won't. I was going to say the 2 truths and a lie that I put on that, but no, we won't do that. You know the answer. So it was more fun for the listeners.
Okay.
I might treat. If there's time at the end, I might treat everyone. So
we're looking forward to that now. Anyway, the new segment. Yes.
So I've got my statements prepared for you.
Okay.
And are you ready with the pen and paper / keyboard? I
am ready with a keyboard and an app in which I can type. Yes.
Perfect. No one can ask for more. Right. Statement number 1. The Camargue was the first Rolls-Royce to be designed using metric.
It's a horrible looking thing.
Yeah. Not a nice looking car.
No,
but we can tell you're typing because we get the bloody noise cancellation, so I have to leave a gap.
I'm sorry. Yes, it's a mechanical clicky-clacky keyboard. Yes.
You're absolutely fine to type, but as we learnt from our episode, you mustn't talk at the same time.
Talk and type? No, okay.
No, don't do that. Right.
Okay, I've got that one down. Yeah.
Statement number 2. On the Toyota GT86, the bore of the engine, the stroke, and the exhaust tips are all approximately 86 millimeters. I say approximately. It's Japanese. They're bang on 86, I guarantee.
It's going to be precisely.
An awfully appropriate number. Statement number 3. The first Porsche 924 test mule was an NSU R080 with subtly swollen wheel arches.
Okay.
Now,
okay.
What do you make of those?
Oh, they're 3 curveballs, aren't they? Okay. Starting with number 3.
Please do.
I'm going to say the NSU R080 is a considerably larger car than the Porsche 924.
It's interesting you say that.
So I'm not sure about that one to begin with. I mean, the NSU R080 is a weird looking thing. But
It is.
Yes. Not that that's particularly relevant, but it is a weird.
God, I was almost about to give you clues there, but I mean, it's really difficult because, like you say, you think it's considerably bigger. They're tiny cars. I'm going to be honest with you. They're not very big.
Well, even if body-wise it was bigger, if the wheelbase was the same, then it would work, wouldn't it? So that isn't necessarily.
Yeah.
GT86. I mean, I have no idea if that's true or not. Not a clue. I can believe that being a Toyota, it would be very precise. And 86 millimeters is obviously it matches the model name.
Mm.
So does that mean they were doing that deliberately, or does it mean you made it up? Rolls-Royce Camargue is a weird looking thing, so I would suggest, it doesn't work at all. It's possible that the measurements were all a bit off because they were trying to do it in metric and maybe it didn't work. And so everything is slightly the wrong size. It does look like a car where every component is slightly the wrong size.
Oh God! It's even. Oh, it's awful car. Awful.
It's really terrible.
And at time of launch, wasn't it the most expensive car in the world?
I believe so. Yes, I believe that's true. Yeah, and I don't think it was a hugely successful vehicle.
No. Although, I just shot myself in the foot in there. That could have been a fact, couldn't it?
That could have been a fact. Actually, you've just given one away. Yeah, that's true. It could have been.
I have thought of another one off the back of it though, so it's all right.
You're working on next week's, or not next week's. That's my turn. Oh dear. And of course, it was two-door as well, wasn't it? Which also made it look slightly ungainly. So I could believe that. I have no idea about the Toyota. I have not got a clue. Whether that is true or not. 924 test mule NSU R080. Why would Porsche use an NSU R080? Why would Porsche have any connection to the NSU R080?
Can I tell you? I don't know. Am I meant to help you or not?
What does it? I don't know what you're going to say. Does what you say help me or not?
I don't know.
You're going to establish a connection between Porsche and NSU.
NSU in either late 60s, early 70s were bought by Audi.
Okay, actually, yes. Now you've said that, I think I may have heard that. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. But at that time, when did Porsche become part of VW? That was much later, wasn't it?
Yeah, but you've got to think about. Oh God, why am I helping? You've got to think
I don't
about
know.
the crossover. I don't know. What am I doing? You've got to think about the crossover projects. So, like the 914 was a VW Porsche collaboration.
Yes. Oh, of course it was. Yeah. No, I did know that. Yes, of course it was. Yeah, of course it was a VW engine, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, of course. I did know that. Yes, I did know that. Yeah. Okay. So there is perhaps more of a connection than you think.
And dare we say it, the 924 began as a joint venture as well.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fair. Okay. What are we going for then? What am I going to go for? Here we go. What am I going to go for? They're three very good questions. Very good questions. Possibly the best so far. I am going to say I'm going to say the Porsche test mule is false and the other two are true.
I see. Well, now what outcome do we think we've got there? So even with me bombarding you with facts on it, you still got the correct answer.
Wonderful. It just didn't. Yes, you built a plausible case for that, but it just didn't ring true.
So
sorry, it just didn't make any sense.
That's all right. Because I built a plausible case for it because it's more plausible than the actual answer.
Yeah, what was the 924 test mule?
A BMW 2002.
Oh, that's weird. I mean, yeah, proportions-wise, that makes more sense.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm very surprised Porsche would use a BMW.
It's a weird one, isn't it?
Wow.
But that's why I thought, you know what? I'm going to go...
What made you think of the NSU R080?
Because I'd read that fact about the 924 and I looked at it and went, BMW, that's too much of a... It's too weird of a leap. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick something that is just about in the VW Porsche family. So
right
I went with the NSU instead.
Yes, yeah. Right on the edge of it. In fact, if you'd said Porsche 924 test mule was a BMW 2002, I probably would have said that was false.
Interesting. But no, I thought I'd go with that. But yes, the other two were bang on.
The Toyota, I had no idea. Absolutely no idea. That was a guess. The Camargue, I went with my theory that it looks so weird that maybe there was some measurement problems.
I don't know if we can blame it on the measurements. I just think they're having an off day. The trouble is, time has not been kind to it either. You're like, sometimes bad designs age well. Still nothing to write home about.
Really hasn't. No, really hasn't. Yeah, that hasn't aged well at all. It's a horrible thing. Oh, fantastic. I got my first one right.
There you go. We got 1-1, right?
Oh, we're drawing here.
The contest continues. That's lovely.
It does. That was a lovely set of questions.
I was quite pleased with those. Do you know, I think they probably came out as my best ones because I got left alone for a stint of time.
I see what you can do when you're allowed.
So I had utter peace and quiet, uninterrupted, in a room on my own with just my laptop and silence. It was lovely.
Oh, it's amazing what you can come up with.
So that was
really good. Really.
However, that session sat in here doing research for the podcast was not only for that little segment. It was for our next one.
Are you attempting a link here?
I am attempting a subtle link. So last week I had to make my apologies for not doing my homework on the challenge that I proposed.
You did when I had done it for once.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. But I have done it.
No
now.
worries.
So our challenge was, what's the fastest you can go for $5,000?
That was our challenge. Yeah. And
so
very interesting.
I've had a lovely time. So each of us have got 6 cars on our list.
We have.
And what I've done is they're based on online ads. They were for sale at the time of list creation.
Yes.
I've recorded certain stats about the cars, so engine type and size, power output, 0 to 60 top speed.
Okay, I don't have all that information noted, but I do have all the adverts in front of me, so I can probably find out.
That's all right. And just because there's umming and ahhing around things like stats and facts, or supposed facts on Wikipedia, what I've done for consistency, when I refer to any of the stats, I've used Parker's for all of them.
Oh, very good. You've put more in. I suspect your list might be better than mine because you've put more effort in.
So it's I just wanted consistency. See, again, I was left to my own devices in peace and quiet, so I was like, I indulged myself. It was lovely.
You did, didn't you? You've had all the research on the go.
I've had a little tinker there, haven't I?
You have indeed. Well, I do have some. I've got the car, the year, 0 to 60, top speed, the price, obviously, as advertised, because that is important. I don't have the other details, but I have all 6 adverts, so I can always dig out a detail, hopefully, if we need it. All of mine are from Auto Trader, so there is a certain consistency of data there.
No, I'm the same. I stuck to one selling platform, so I'm on Auto Trader as well. What I've also done,
the chances of us having picked out some of the same cars are quite high. Quite
high, I would say. What I've also done is I've not tried to be clever. all of the cars are advertised for 5 or under.
Yes.
I've not gone in with the concept of going, well, if it's a smidge over, I could talk them down. I thought, no, that's against the rules.
No, I haven't done that either. All mine are 5 or under. Yes.
Perfect. Right.
Yes.
May I kick us off?
Oh, please do.
Okay. So, first on my list, now, this is... May I sort of start by saying, some of these, you get quite a lot of car. I wasn't expecting that. This is one of those instances.
Well, as we've said, £5,000 at the moment is an interesting amount of money. It's surprising what you can get. It's also surprising what you can't get. Mine have all turned out to be kind of the same when it comes to performance, but a lot of them do it in very different ways.
Yeah, I would say that's fair, and I've probably got a similar sort of outcome.
And they're all about the same age because, of course, that's what £5,000 gets you. So it's...
Yeah, I've got one standout that's, I say standout, it's slightly newer in terms of age compared to the other 5.
I've got one that's a few years newer than the rest of the list, and the rest are all about the same. Yeah.
So, number 1, these are in no particular order. This was just the order that I found them while browsing. So, number 1 on my list is a Mercedes-Benz AMG CLK 55. It's the C215 variant for those who are interested. It's a 2005. It's a cabrio. So you will get called a wanker and hear it if you or I drive it.
You will. Yeah, that's true. Yes, this is not a car for us. No.
No. So that is a 5.4 litre V8. It's the M113 engine. 361 horsepower. 0 to 60, 5.2 seconds. Electronically limited to 155 miles an hour, but a bit of research suggests if you take that off in one of those CLKs, you are going to be getting awfully close. Well, coupe form 200, a bit less because it's cabrio.
It's cabrio, so yeah, a little bit heavier. That's a really good choice. That's a really good choice. Yeah,
it's reasonably well looked after. It's quite high mileage, and now this is the bit that will get you. That's for sale for £3,900.
Ooh, that's not a lot of money for that, is it? Wow.
Yep.
For an AMG.
Yeah. Now, without
Why
going
is that
into
so cheap, what mileage has it done?
109,000, give or take.
Not terrible for the age.
Not terrible. It's been through 1 gearbox so far.
Okay.
Apparently they've got a bit of collection of cars, and this one needs to go. And amusingly, the another reason for it being sold apparently is because they're banned from driving at the moment.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, that'll happen, won't it?
Yep. But I mean, who are we to judge? It looks well presented.
Yeah. Okay. That's nice, and that is not on my list. Although I do have something similar.
If I had to have a punt, I think I know what it is, but I'm not gonna throw out guesses. I'll let you can maybe follow with that one. It's up to you.
This wasn't going to be my first, but I will do it next because you've mentioned the Merc. So
I will either confirm or deny whether I think what's in my head is what you're about to say. So.
Okay. Yes, I found, which actually isn't quite as fast as the car you just mentioned, although it is getting there. I found a Mercedes SL 500 convertible.
So what era are we talking?
2006.
Okay, nice.
This particular example is in a dark blue with a black leather interior. It has a 0 to 60 of 6.1 seconds.
Lovely.
155 mile per hour top speed. This one actually is geographically quite close to us as well. It's done 123,000 miles and can be yours for £4,750.
Again, it's awfully palatable, isn't it?
It's an SL500. It's lovely. It's in really good nick. And folding hardtop, no rust. It's looks lovely.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, not quite as quick as your first entry, but it's about 6 seconds 0 to 60 is where most of mine are, with one notable exception.
It's reasonably rapid, and like you said, I quoted 5.2 on the one that I listed, but it's in that ballpark. Okay, but a solid choice. I'm not going to turn down an SL. It's a model of Mercedes that I've got a lot of time for.
Yeah, me too. If I was going to have one, I'm not interested in their saloons or anything, but I think that, something like that. It was interesting actually doing the search that you can't, or at least I couldn't find a way of actually searching for a 0 to 60 or a top speed.
No,
so you have to kind of think of something, and that'll be good, and then search for it.
Actually, Auto Trader does allow you to search for 0 to 60.
Oh, does it? Oh, I never found that. I never found that.
But I did hone mine using that, but also engine size as well.
Right. Okay.
There was a bit of fiddling with that to sort of try and yield results I was interested in.
Yeah. Okay,
right.
So we've both chosen a couple of Mercs.
Couple of Mercs, couple of soft tops, or hard top that folds on yours, but still.
Yeah.
Wind in our thinning hair, perfect.
Yeah, sad but true, that is, isn't it?
May I continue that theme, please?
Please.
Now, this comes with the Chris seal of approval, this one, because I'm about to pick his car. The BMW Z4 Roadster, the E85. I found a 2003 model for sale. So it's the 3-litre straight 6, the M54B30 engine, 231 horsepower, 0 to 65.7, 155 mile an hour limited top speed.
Yeah.
Really nice condition. Absolutely beautifully looked after, this one. Really nice history. In a metallic grey, red leather. Manual, obviously. Dirty.
Obviously very naughty. Yes.
And that's yours for a $5 under 5.
Okay. So just sneaked in under there. Very good.
Yeah.
Nice.
And to be honest, because our budget was 5, I essentially picked the best one that I could find at the time. But you are spoilt for choice for those.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
You can pick rough ones, you can pick nice ones, you can pick anything in between. But you obviously there are ones in there that are the smaller engines, but we were going for fastest. This is what we're doing here. So 3 litres is the only one I would entertain for this particular challenge.
Very nice.
And
very nice.
I suppose I can speak with experience, having driven one now, and going, you would not be disappointed.
Of that, I have no doubt. That's nice. And it's interesting. It's interesting because I also have a 3-litre BMW on my list. But not
I bet it's not a Z4.
It's not. It's not.
Are you going to follow with that, perchance?
I will follow this again. Wasn't next on my list, but that doesn't matter because they weren't in any particular order. So I have found a 330 Ci Sport Coupe, 2002.
So are we talking E46?
Oh, I guess I don't know all the numbers.
Hang on, let's have a look. I assume so. My tiny brain. Yep.
Yes.
Okay, fine.
I believe so. This particular example in silver, 108,000 miles. We have a 0 to 60 of 7 seconds. So the slowest car actually on our list so far, but still no slouch. 153 mile per hour top speed. This is an auto, not a manual. But yours for 3,995.
Seems
So actually a whole grand under budget.
It's a whole grand under budget, and I bet. Now, I'm not as pervy on my BMW details, but I'm almost certain that's the same engine that's in the Z4.
I think it is.
M54 B30. Yeah.
231 brake horsepower, 230. I was confused with the numbers there. 231 brake horsepower. So almost certainly it is the same 3-litre engine, but in a slightly different body shape. So again, very similar cars.
Yep. And I'm not going to be upset with that. I mean, I know that an E46 is a bit prone to rust, but I still like them styling wise.
They're of
really
an age.
Nice.
This one's had a little bit of paintwork. The alloys have been refurbed. I suspect the fact that it's slightly slower is because it's an auto.
Yes, almost guaranteed.
If it was the manual variant, it would be just that little bit quicker. So I'm sure that's all it is. And this particular example is silver with a grey interior.
Oh, so bland on bland. Nice.
Yeah, that's right. Boring on boring, indeed.
Yeah. But that would be a lovely thing to drive.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
Interesting. Nice. 2 Mercs, 2 Beamers.
2 Mercs, 2 Beamers. Continuing the German theme, yeah?
Well, I won't be because I don't have another German car on my list. So.
Do you not? Okay, that's a thing, isn't it? I do, and here it comes. So I found for sale a Porsche Boxster S, a 986 variant. So the 3.2 flat six, 252 horsepower, 0 to 65.7 seconds, 162 mile an hour top speed. And this is in bargain territory. I'm going to be honest, because it's $3,000.
Oh, they're getting cheap, aren't they?
This one does have a couple of issues. However, nothing catastrophic.
Okay.
It's just, it does need a bit of TLC, but it's not ruined.
Okay. A lot of Boxsters are like that.
Yeah. So
I did look at Boxsters, but deliberately left them alone because I thought he's bound to pick one.
I did, and I picked the cheapest one at the time. So I never expected to see an S for $3,000, and like it does need love. It does need a bit of things doing to it, but it can be yours for $3,000.
That's unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah.
I must admit, I did find a Cayman within budget, but on further reading, it needs a new clutch. It's a non-runner. That's the only reason it's in budget.
Okay, yes,
because I got really excited for a minute there. I thought, I found a Cayman in budget, and it's broken.
Yeah. Whereas this one does need some love. You would be able to drive it away.
Okay, that's important. So, running and driving, although we didn't actually specify that.
No, however, all the ones on my list are running and driving. This is the ropiest car on my list.
Okay.
And it's because I basically wanted the fastest Boxster I could have within budget.
The fact that there's any Porsche on either of our lists is quite amazing.
So yeah, and it's just having an S. So you got that 3.2 engine. So it's for the nerds, it's the M9621 engine, because it's a 2002 car. Yeah, but that one
model year.
Exactly that. But what you would be doing with that one is having a punt.
Yes, it's potentially a project, isn't it?
There's potentially a problem as well. That one.
Yeah. Some work to do.
Yeah. Okay. What you got for me next?
Right. I'm gonna go a bit old school here.
Nice.
Not in terms of a particularly old car. In fact, it is the newest car on my list, but it's a proper kind of blue collar hero, as they say. I have found a Ford Focus ST500.
Have you?
I have.
Bloody hell.
Within budget. It's a 2009. It's done 146,000 miles, and it is the 2.5.
So the nice 5-cylinder engine.
Yes.
Yep.
4995.
I had a swig of beer and they spat it out.
I know.
That's ridiculous.
I know it is, isn't it? An ST500.
I mean,
that is. So we are, and the important figures, we are 0 to 60 in 6.5 seconds and a top speed of 152.
What year did you say that was?
2009. It's a 58 plate.
Blimey.
221 brake horse, 320 Newton meters of torque.
Yes, quite.
It's it's proper. That's a proper fast Ford.
Yeah,
and we love a fast Ford. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
The only thing you're going to hate about it is that it's got black wheels.
I mean, I'm very willing to call it out, but yes, that's impressive. We know that's going to be a rock solid engine because that's the Volvo engine. That's not a Ford engine, that one.
Although it's not the quickest car on my list, I'm going to say that's probably, and I know you don't know the others yet, but I'm going to say that's probably the best car on my list.
That's a bold statement. I like that.
In terms of kind of reliability and running costs and all that kind of stuff and practicality, that will do everything.
What is amusing though is depending on where your car originated from. You said there's no more Germans on there. Some of those Focus were made in Germany.
So that is true. That is true. Yeah, some of them were. Some of them were also made in Belgium, I believe.
Oh, Ford love churning them out there. Yeah, they were all over the shop.
They do. Yes. So yes, it is possible that that's German built. I grant you. Yes. But I was really. I love a fast Ford, and we love a Focus, and yeah, it's just that's a lot for the money.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna mix it up and pick a German car.
Are all yours German?
They're not all German.
Okay.
So this is the newest car as well on my list. This one, and it is an Audi S5. So it's the B8 variant, 2010 model.
Okay.
So it's in. Now this is not long before you couldn't have a V8, but this is an S5 4.2 litre V8, 349 horsepower, 5.2 to 60, 155 mile an hour limited, usual nonsense. Fairly, I mean, it's not even that leggy. Just shy of 135,000 miles. Does have black wheels, I'm afraid. Does appear to be photographed by some sort of wasteland.
Yes, it's set in the mood, you see. Set in the mood.
Yeah, but a nice sleek Audi coupe with a massive V8 Quattro. So you're all right. 5 or under £5,000.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's another solid choice.
Yep. Can't knock it. It's got
no
reasonable history.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not awful. It's got, like I said, it's not squeaky clean, but it's pretty good considering the miles. It's got an aftermarket but nice exhaust on it.
Okay.
Not it's from a brand we recognise. Yeah, it's in lovely nick inside. You could just see that it's been used but cared for at the same time, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, used is all right as long as it's had what it needed.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
And again, not an Audi sort of person, but you take the black bits off this and you've got yourself a lovely car.
See, again, like the Focus, I think that's a pretty dependable choice.
Yeah, I mean, it's in a really nice blue. It just needs the wheels putting back to silver, the badges on the front and back putting back to silver, and you'd be well away.
You'd be sorted then. Well, they're easy things to do.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I didn't expect to be sitting here defending an Audi again tonight, but there I am.
No, see, that's 2 weeks in a row you have been discussing the virtues of an Audi. I think you might be on the turn.
Oh God! Right, quick. What's yours?
Moving on fast.
Yeah.
I'm going to Japan. You're going to like this one. You are going to like this. Well, I think you're going to like this one.
I'm intrigued. Japan. I wasn't expecting a Japanese entry for this, but I'm all ears.
All ears on this one. I have found a Subaru Impreza WRX. 2-litre turbo. 2005. It is in the blue with the gold wheels. 122, nearly 123,000 miles. Not exactly a mint example. There is a little bit of it's running and driving. There is a little bit of rust. It's had a new engine 5 years ago.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it has. But nevertheless, can be yours for 4,975.
4,975. And what year? Sorry, just to get it in my head.
2005. It's an 05 plate.
So that is, just to be clear. So we're in second generation Impreza territory, but first facelift. So we're in the blob eye section here.
We very much are. Yes.
Okay. Fine.
Key detail: we have a 0 to 60 of 6.3 seconds, top speed of 144. So not the quickest on our list, but it's up there.
Interesting.
But it is Subaru Impreza WRX, so 250 brake.
What a thing! I mean, I to be fair, I would have picked one had it been around at the time of me searching, but there was not an Impreza available to me.
This was not the only one, actually. I think there were 5 when I looked, which was a couple of weeks ago. But so there may not be any more. But there were 5. I chose this one primarily because it was in the colours, the blue and gold. And it appealed to my child. So
that's fair enough. That's really cool. Would you like a little fun? Do you want a little fun fact?
Oh, please do.
So, that era of Impreza, the blob eye, was the facelift because of the bug eye was divided the room, shall we say?
Yes.
So they enlisted the help of Peter Stevens to help with the facelift. And Peter Stevens of tremendous car design fame, notably McLaren F1.
There you go.
What
I'll
else?
do
Quite a lot of Rovers, 45,
Okay.
25. The Rover Streetwise, the 75.
Yeah, I wouldn't hold the Streetwise up as the gold standard in car
No,
design.
there you go. Just it's nonsense fact.
The 75 you could make more case for the 75. I think I like the 75.
Now I think Peter Stevens was only strictly involved with the Tourer.
I thought Ian Callum did the Tourer.
I'm not saying they weren't working in conjunction, but I think he had a hand in it. That's all I'm saying.
I think Ian Callum had an uncredited hand in the 75 Tourer.
Okay, so I think whereas Peter Stevens had a credited hand in it. So.
Yeah, I think Ian Callum just kind of did it to just help out on the side. I think he was still working for Ford at the time.
Yeah, and the one that everyone forgets that broke Jeremy Clarkson's head, Peter Stevens did do some design work on the MG X-Power SV.
We all remember that moment, I think.
We do.
Smacking the Clarkson cranium into the roll cage.
That's it. We remember it for that reason, and we remember it for Fiat Punto lights.
There you go.
So that's that. Right.
Lovely. There we are then.
Car.
Your next car. Bet you can't
My
beat
car.
that.
Got myself a Jag.
Oh.
Ah,
you're in my territory here.
I
okay.
Am. I've crossed the line and I'm going for it.
Well, I just crossed the line going into Subaru territory. So.
Yeah, true. At the time of searching, guess what I found?
Well, it's going to be either an XK, an XJ, or an S-Type, I would suggest.
I found a Jaguar XJR in budget, an X308.
Oh, there's quite a few in budget, to be fair.
Yeah. So I found one in budget.
I keep a close eye on these generally.
So it was a 1999 model, so it's the oldest car on my list.
Okay.
And I
lovely.
will reel off the stats for you, but you know what engine it's got.
I know the stats of this off the top of my head, yes.
So you've got yourself a lovely 4-litre supercharged.
4 those. Yep.
The AJ V8.
AJ V8 in those, which later became the 4.2. Yeah.
Exactly. So this is in this particular guise, it's the 370 horsepower, 5.3 to 60, 155 mile an hour, electronically limited.
Electronically limited, they all were. Yeah.
And it's done 153,000 miles. It's got superb history.
Colors.
It is blue.
Nice. I think I know the car you're talking about because I think I've looked at all the adverts. Who am I kidding?
So it's got a light cream leather inside. The leather does need a clean, I'll be honest. Needs a bit of rejuvenation, but it's not buggered by the look of it. It just needs some love.
Just a little bit of work. Yeah, they are lovely. Very rotty. That's the problem with them, but they are gorgeous cars. They really.
Yeah. So history isn't too bad on it. In terms of rot, it's actually okay. Because you can see on the history, it's not too shabby condition in terms of rot. It's the ad says it is dry stored in winter and only used throughout the summer. It does have a blow in the exhaust, and like I said, the leather is pretty good, but it's the driver's seat that needs the most attention.
Needs a bit of work. Yeah, they all go like that.
And it's got part history with it. But that's just one of those things. The admin's been lost along the way. It's not like it's not been serviced, but paperwork has gone astray. So that is yours for £4,500.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, that was the one that I was genuinely worried we'd have on both of our lists.
Well, I do have a Jag on my list, and
I wonder if it's the one that I specifically excluded.
Well, it was either going to be an XKR, an XJR, or an S-Type R, because they all have exactly the same stats, because they all have basically the same engine.
So, all right, I'm going to have a punt. I deliberately excluded an S-Type R.
And I deliberately included one.
There we go.
Because I adore them, and
Yes,
it may still happen. The door is not closed on these yet, and
no.
maybe rightly so, because prices do seem to be heading on the way down again.
Yes, as a lot of adverts do say, prices may vary. Yeah.
Yeah, very much so. So I have found a Jaguar S-Type R, the 4.2 supercharged AJ V8. Now I picked a really early one. I picked a 2002.
I'm trying to rack my brains if it's the exact one. Is it in silver?
It is.
It is the one then, yeah.
And it's with a dealer. Yeah, 133,000 miles. And 0 to 60, 5.3 seconds, 155 mile per hour top speed, electronically limited, the same as the XJ. It's a slightly later revision of the XJ. Went for an early one because, as we know, there are a number of benefits to having an earlier one. We prefer the look of them. The tax is half as much as it is on the post 2005 cars. And you get a lot of nice extras like Brembo brakes and nicer alloys and all things like that. So nicer instrument, binnacle, everything is. We prefer the pre-facelift cars, if it's all nicer boot spoiler, all that kind of stuff. So and I found it, as you know, if you've seen the advert, for 3,495, which not too long ago there was no way you could get one of those for that kind of money. But in the years that I've been looking at these, the prices, as you know, have been all over the shop. So, silver wouldn't be my first choice, but this did look like quite a nice example.
I would. Do you know what? I'd accept a Jag in silver. It's way
not
more.
bad. Yeah.
No, it's like I turned my nose up when you said about your. I think it was your BMW that was silver. And that I find a bit boring, but Jag, I don't know. There's something. It's more appropriate, I feel.
Well, this one's it's silver with a grey interior. It's got the walnut dash. It's got all the toys. It's got the heated seats and the touchscreen infotainment. Although that is a bit dated now, but it works. But they are just so lovely, aren't they? Every time.
Yeah.
I've got to have one. I've got to have one.
Yes, the phrase "shit or get off the pot" springs to mind.
Yeah, well, that's been the case for a couple of years now. They are silly money again at the moment. Silly cheap money.
Silly
again.
Good money. Yeah. What a thing. Yeah. What a thing.
Had to have a Jag on the list, and it had to be one. Well, as I say, it was either going to be an XK, an XJ, or a S-Type, and I thought, well, they're all kind of available for the same sort of money now. They all have the same performance because they've all got the same engine. S-Type for me every time.
Why not, indeed? And I got a soft spot for an XJR, and what appeared was like, well, I'm having it.
As do I. But there you go. Lovely. That actually is the S-Type R is the fastest car on my list.
Interesting. Okay. So, what I'd like to do to round off my list is head straight back to Germany, if I may.
It's a very German list you've had tonight.
It is. They were awfully good at speed, as it turns out.
Yes, those zany Germans.
Sehr good. So I have got myself a BMW 650i, an E93, proper Bangle territory. So it's a 4.8 litre V8, the N62 engine, 361 horsepower, 0 to 65 seconds, limited to 155 mile an hour. But I genuinely think you take that electronic limiter off and you've possibly got the fastest car here. I know that Merc's quite quick, but the fact it's a cabrio will hold it back, I would say.
It will, yeah.
And unlike the Rolls that we were talking about in Two Truths, One Lie, the design on this, I think, has aged really well.
Yeah, well, that's probably fair to say. Yeah.
And it's in really lovely condition. It's now I know what colour I think it is. I wonder if they've described it in any particular way. No, they haven't. It is basically gold.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, well, they have been rather partial to a gold over the years.
Gold, black leather. I mean, brilliant history. And it's been serviced bang on. So it's been serviced every year or every 10,000 miles since it was purchased in 2005. They're claiming it's only ever been run on super unleaded. It's been used as a daily for quite some time. It's done 123,000 miles. It's got full history.
Nice.
And it's got all of the stuff with it. They said that there is the odd scuff here and there, but there is absolutely nothing bad. I looked up all the details and it's bang on. It's had the services done at the right time. It's had when I say the services, not only engine ones, but the gearbox ones have been done at the correct intervals. The coolant has been done at the correct intervals. It's just ridiculous. And that is yours for £3,900.
No. Wow.
Yeah.
What that's an absolute bargain.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. That's absolutely nuts.
Wow. Wow. It never even occurred to me to look for one of those. That's amazing. Wow. That might be the best find tonight. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, these are in no particular order, but I left that one till last because I was like, that is a lot of car.
Yeah, it really is. That's amazing. Less than £4,000 for that.
Yeah, and it's the price is good, but it's the history that sells it.
Yes, indeed.
Just
wow.
Yeah, it's probably not the cheapest thing to run. I think I looked up the tax. It's a smidge over 400 a year, which in general isn't too bad for what you're getting.
Yeah.
And judging by London's stupid scheme, you could probably drive that into central London for free.
Oh, the bigger the engine, the better.
Yes, that's what we've learned.
That seems to be the rule. Yes.
But yes,
well done.
Sign me up on that one.
Oh, absolutely. Well done.
Just for the record, it is still for sale as well. Fuck.
Yeah. That's dangerous.
Yeah.
That's the trouble with these lists.
Yeah. That one could really
we all have all of them.
That could generate a conversation / altercation indoors.
Well, as we know, forgiveness is easier than permission. So
yeah, all of that. And well, Kelly said she needed a new car anyway. And that is in budget.
Yes, a big estate car is what she specifically said.
Well, it's a big car. The boot on these are pretty good.
Yeah.
You're meant to be on my side.
Yes, I'm on everyone's side.
Oh dear. Anyway, we digress. We both agree that we might have found the winner there, but you've got
We
one
may
more
have
for
found
us.
the winner, but I got one more plus an honourable mention,
Perfect.
which I'll come on to. But
Mhm.
the last one on my list, I'm going back to Japan.
Okay. I'm looking forward to this.
I thought you might be.
Oh, can I
Yeah.
have a punt at a manufacturer if we're going back to Japan?
Please do.
Is it the Japanese Mercedes?
Oh, I wish it was, but no.
Oh, worth a punt.
It was worth a punt.
Mm.
No, sadly not.
Okay.
It is. It's a Nissan 350Z.
Oh, lovely choice.
Now I have found a 3.5 V6 GT convertible.
Oh, again, you'd be able to hear them call you anchor. Not a problem.
There you go. Manual 2005, 119,000 miles on the clock. Grey with a black interior, a bit boring. We have a 0 to 60 of 6.4 seconds. Top speed 155. 276 brake horsepower, which is, funnily enough, the same as my Jag. And ironically, in the photos of this advert, there is an Italian Racing Red XF parked just next to it. Just a bit
that's
weird,
very interesting.
However, yours for 4895.
Oh, that's not bad at all, is it?
No. Somebody's painted the brake calipers gold, but we'll skip over that.
Okay.
It's lovely. It drives perfectly, according to the advert.
All right.
That is the only thing they've said in the advert. So I've got nothing else to go on.
For goodness sake.
However, it's bang on performance-wise with the rest of the list.
That's good, isn't it?
I was quite impressed with that. Yeah, for less than 5. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. You're certainly going to get no complaints from me when it comes to having a nice Japanese. I was going to say coupe, but it's a cabrio, isn't it?
This particular one, it's a cabrio. It's a Nissan Z car. So,
Yeah, back when we were allowed them in this country.
Back when they were a thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
you don't see those that often, though.
No, they are rarer by the day, and they're getting pricier by the day as a direct result.
Interesting. Well, there's one that isn't.
No, there's one that's in the realms of affordable, but again, I do believe rust is on the agenda for those.
Yeah, very much so. Yes, indeed. Be careful. But this one looks, well, I mean, from the photos, it looks tidy. I mean, you can't tell, can you? But,
no.
But nevertheless, there it is. Taxed and tested, as they say.
Quite. Well, that's lovely. That is lovely. So before we go with the honourable mention, I think we know what my favourite is. But have we swayed you after you've heard my list?
What's my favourite of what you've chosen?
Well, in general.
No, it's the S-Type R.
Okay, fine. I'm just checking. I just wondered whether that BMW bargain would have made you go,
oh, that's a glorious thing. But
it has turned your head a little bit. Let's face it.
Yeah, it has. It's a glorious thing, and I would, I would adore that if I had it. But if I'm going out there with my own money, it would be the S-Type. I'm sorry, it just would be.
No, that's absolutely fine. No problem. No, I'd rather your genuine answer. Right.
Yes, and again, is also the fastest car on my list. But yes, honourable. I'm going to send you a link to this one, and you will understand why it has immediately given my good lady a bit of a problem.
Okay.
Here you are. Let me just furnish you with a link. It is
So-
the only one of its kind currently on Auto Trader.
Okay,
It's
so
a
just
one
to
of
be
one.
one of one. I've not clicked on it yet. So
Okay.
this is you browsing for our research, finding said vehicle and presenting it to Dawn. Is that what's happened here?
That is exactly what's happened. Yes.
Fine. Right. Okay. I just need to set the scene. Right. I'm going to let's have a look. Let's have a look on the link. So what we got? I was thinking about. Oh dear.
You
Yeah,
see?
I can.
That's...
Yeah, I can see why that's going to. I mean,
Yeah.
I like it, but I can see why that's a bit of Dawn. Right
Well,
there.
she's had one before, of course.
So, oh,
Because it was one of those that she was driving when we got together.
I see.
Yes.
Right.
It's the only one of that shape, that pre-facelift shape. Currently, they have got incredibly rare of any spec.
I think we probably need to put everyone out of their misery because we're going, well,
That's what it is. Yes, it's true. It is a Renault Clio 2-litre 16-valve Renault Sport from 2001. So the smoothed off big headlight version.
Yeah. And
this one has been absolutely cherished.
it's in lovely condition.
This has been someone's baby. It's had everything done. It's even had a full respray, full machine polish. It's had the belt tensioners, oil filter, discs and pads all round, brand new set of tyres. It's been completely gone through, serviced every year, whether it needed it or not. All kinds of little performance upgrades, exhaust, suspension, all kinds of stuff, different air intakes. It's been gone right through. It's a real collector car.
Yeah, it's really nice. And for the nerds among us, looks like it's a 172 phase 1.
Yes, correct.
Oh, there we go. Anorak complete.
That's good. That's very good. If you know your Clios. MOT'd until August. It is in Scotland, so it is at the other end of the country to us.
Okay, the new. That is a bit of a trek.
It's nearly 400 miles away from us, which in our country is quite a lot of travelling.
We don't have a straight road between us and it, unfortunately.
No, very much not.
Although the correct thing to do here is get a cheap flight and then drive it back.
Correct. That is exactly what would happen. Yeah, £5,000.
Bang on budget.
Yep. Make it into my list, actually, because it would be the slowest in terms of 0 to 60.
It would. I mean, but you would have a whale of a time. And I'm going to be brutally honest. Okay, right. I would enjoy the shit out of it, and so would Dawn. You, even though that's a good one, you're not going to drive a French hatchback.
I have.
I know you have driven one, but you won't,
Yes.
given the choice.
Well, depends what else is on the driveway, doesn't it?
Yeah.
However, I showed her the advert earlier this evening, and some noises were made.
Right. Now, just to be clear on the noises, should any noises escalate to pulling of triggers, you still haven't driven that fucking MX-5.
No, I know I haven't.
If there's a danger of it leaving, you need to drive it first.
Yes, I agree. It was unclear whether this would be a replacement for that or in addition to that.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh. Interesting.
Yes.
Oh, lovely. Lovely.
Yes.
We
will see. But
you're going to want to have somewhere to put this though, because this will rot.
Quite exactly. This needs to go undercover somewhere. But these don't come up that often. They are becoming incredibly rare. And in this condition, for that money, it's the only one on Auto Trader. Yes,
rarer by the day. Lovely though, really lovely.
Gorgeous! Yeah,
superb example. If it's going to be snapped up, I'd do it sharpish because I can see that disappearing.
Well, as I say, it wouldn't be me doing it, so not entirely my choice. But and that's there it is.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, we've had some lovely choices there, haven't we?
I think we can both be pleased with our lists there. Yeah, a couple of Jags, a couple of Mercs, a couple of Beamers, some Japanese stuff. It's all in there,
all over the shop. And yeah, I, for a minute there, I thought I was going to end up picking an Audi again, but no. That I tell you what, that 650, yes, really cool. But I tell you what, it would be really, God blimey, it would be really tricky. After driving that Z4, going, actually, that was really good.
Yeah.
And go, the 650, yes, technically be faster, but would it be better to drive? That I would be very skeptical about.
Yes, I think that's fair.
Really tricky. Okay, I'm not going to speculate too wildly, but yeah, food for thought.
That's a tough call.
Yeah, and when we're at this particular budget, everything here is very tempting.
Yes, yes, everything on our list.
I know, and it's that thing now where it's tempting enough. We're all of an age where we could probably, without too much issue, just nip out and buy one. Which is a problem.
It is a problem, isn't it? When things become possible.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, it does come back to there would be conversations, but unfortunately, you gotta live with these things sometimes. Oh God.
I mean, that Focus ST500 that I found, that it works.
It does. I mean, and like you said, it's potentially. I mean, when you said best car, I think it's a lot of things factor into best car on the list.
Well, best is subjective, isn't it? Yes.
Yeah, and I know what you mean.
Newest.
It's the newest. It's potentially the more mass market. It's potentially the cheaper to run and operate.
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
But the one thing about that is if you buy that, of all the things on that list, that's the one that just screams from the rooftop midlife crisis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
It's really difficult. But yeah. I hope Dawn buys the Clio, and I'm going to have a laugh and show Kaylee the BMWs.
There you go. Well, both of them.
And see what she thinks.
Okay.
And see if I get laughed out of the room. But yeah, well, I'll tell you what, I'll report back on that next week. We'll have a laugh.
Let's report back next week on what's happening with that stuff. Yeah, we may have both uncovered something there.
Yeah, I think I know the answer my end, but there we go. We'll see. We'll give it a whirl.
Well.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's probably enough of that for this week. Check us out on all the various social medias and things. Thank you very much for listening.